Hello friends, I hope everyone is doing well. So I made a video a couple of days ago about a biblical year being 360 days and the earth and the sun and the moon and whatnot is out of sync right now, and I gave reasons in that video for why those things are currently out of sync and when they'll be brought back into sync. I don't need to get into all that in this video here, but the purpose of this video is because someone asked me in relation to that one, how do I determine what the Sabbath day is? So first off, I'll refer you to Ockham's razor. Just as a principle to look into this, and I'll explain it this way. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water, and God said, "Let there be light," and light was. All right, so I'm talking about day number 1. Not just the first of a series, but day number 1. Before this, there was no day. At the end of 6 days, creation is finished. The Father has made Adam and Eve and breathed the breath of life into them. And then the 7th day began. And traditionally, they start the 7th day at sundown on the 6th day. I personally don't believe that's right. I don't argue with people about it. If you want to know, I will try to have a discussion with you to explain why I believe that. But the important thing here is that Adam was told when the 7th day was. So the first 7th day in all of creation, and this is the first of them, but, the first in the series as well. And so all Adam had to do at that point was, okay, the first full day of my existence is a Sabbath on which I do no work. All right, so tomorrow I'll start tending the garden. And at that point, at the end of that 7th day, all Adam had to do was count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Sabbath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Sabbath. That is all that is necessary to keep up with which day is the 7th day. Now, granted, we haven't been here since Adam has, or since the time of Adam, or the first 7th day or whatever, so we are not able to keep count and keep track of that. That being said, there has been a series of obedient people from Adam all the way through the entirety of human history up to this very day that have kept up with what when the 7th day is based on that alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Sabbath, 7th day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest. And, if you follow the genealogy, and you can actually just skip to Genesis chapter 5, and it gives the genealogy from Adam to Noah right there, and it tells you what the obedient line was from Adam to Noah. And how many years does that cover in those, I forget how many generations it is. It's either 7 or 14 generations, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Go check out Genesis chapter 5. Be a Berean. And what are the Bereans? What are they supposed to do? Or what did they do? That's Acts chapter 17, verses 10 and 11. Those in Berea were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness, yet searched the scriptures daily to prove whether those things be so. That's what the Bereans did. So Acts chapter 17, 11. But to get back to when the seventh day is, or the Sabbath day, the day of rest. You'll have to just follow Noah's sons after Noah on through Scripture, and there has been a line of those who were obedient all the way up to modern times, as in like today. And if you really, really want to dig into it really deep, start looking through some of the genealogies in the Bible. Naturally, start there, but then search out people in Israel. Go see if you can find records. And I know it's not practical for most of us to go to Israel. I've never been to Israel, but follow the biblical genealogies. That will give you the family line that was obedient all the way up until, actually, I want to say Joseph. Joseph and Mary. And then Yeshua, when he was here, naturally, he knew which day was the seventh day. So if you just start with him and follow what he taught, and I'm sure there are some records somewhere, aside from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, of Yeshua's time on earth, when he kept the seventh day. And then you can follow Paul, because Paul also kept the Sabbath, and he would have been equally yoked with the believers of his time. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Timothy. I can't even remember all their names right this second. I'm a little bit excited thinking about this stuff. So it's not terribly difficult to know when the Sabbath is. But if you want to expand beyond that, and I'm sure I'm going to get some blowback on this because I'm not a linguist, there are a large number of the languages all around the globe that their word for the day that we call Saturday actually means seventh day, Sabbath, or something along those lines. For example, the Mexican word is what? Sabado. And that means seven. Right. The seventh day. That's what it's supposed to mean. So anyway, just dig into it like that. The Father has been so involved in history, in everything that goes on in the world, and we ignore it. Just like I was talking about science in the other video that I referenced right at the beginning of this one. The Father is in every single thing that happens. And if he's not in it to direct it, he at least knows what's going on. And like it says in Romans 8:28, all things work together for good for those who love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Even the things that he's not actively changing or affecting or manipulating, whatever word you want to use to describe his actions, he's paying attention to it, and he will use it and work it for our good. Anyway, a little bit off topic. My apologies. I hope that you bring something away from this. I hope I've answered the question. If I have not answered the question of the person that asked me, how do I determine when the Sabbath is, by all means, just send me a message and, maybe clarify your question or rephrase it a little bit, or, we can have a discussion until I understand where you're coming from if I missed the mark. And if I did, I apologize. And again, if I did, the Father is in all things. So I hope that there's something in this video for someone. I'm sure there is. So until next time, I hope you all fare well wherever you fare, and in all the endeavors that you undertake. Strive to walk in righteousness, serving the Father and those around you. Yahweh bless.